A top executive at Amazon quits, saying the company culture is just too toxic. Good evening. Welcome to King 5 News at 5. I'm Mark Wright.
I'm Joyce Taylor. So we've heard criticism of Amazon before, but not from a company vice president and not quite like this. King 5's Vanessa Machanya is live at Amazon headquarters. So Vanessa, this executive isn't mincing words, describing, quote, a vein of toxicity running through the company culture?
Joyce, good evening. That's right. So he said that with this decision to leave, that he is choosing to neither serve nor drink that poison any longer. So this man's name is Tim Bray, and up until May 1st, he was a vice president and distinguished engineer here at Amazon, and he wrote these words in a scathing blog post called By Amazon, where he outlined several events that led up to this decision to ultimately quit the company. And he said it was the firing of several employees organizing for better working conditions during the pandemic that he chose to leave the company he'd been at for more than 5 years. Now, Bray said in his post that while Amazon claimed safety precautions were in place in its warehouses, workers were raising alarms about being uninformed and unprotected, including Maren Kofsta and Emily Cunningham, who were fired on April 10th. Now, Amazon has defended their move, saying that they fired those employees for repeatedly violating internal policies. But in his post, Bray said that those justifications were, quote, laughable. It was clear to any reasonable observer that they were turfed for whistleblowing. Now, Bray went on to name a handful of employees that he said were fired for speaking out about working conditions during the pandemic, and he said that those employees were either a person of color, a woman, or both. Now, I reached out to Amazon. They said that they do not have a comment to share about Tim Bray or his blog post. And as for Bray, he ended his post saying that he is sad, but he is ultimately breathing freely. Guys?
Vanessa, thank you.